Yeah. Eagles eating up them yards. 208 rushing yards today. And Matty Ice met his defrosters. That Eagles defensive line on full force today. Mike Owens is here. I'm Adrian Fedke. We're at Mike's place here. How about that win?
Great win. This was a win that the Eagles really needed today. The entire game, we were really sitting on the edge of our seats because, Peterson really, especially in the second half, he went back to being the old Peterson with the play calling. Ended the game, Mathews wasn't in the game. They have Smallwood in there. And even when it was a crucial play at the end of the game, Wentz and Smallwood almost had a fumble on the exchange. So really questionable play calls again with Peterson. But really, today we should be talking about our defense and Jim Schwartz because that's how we won the game.
Yeah, we'll get to Dougie. We'll nitpick him in a bit. But this is about the Eagles' victory. Ryan Mathews carries the ball 19 times for 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. During the week, Dougie lied to us. He lied. He said Darren Sproles was the number 1 back. Well, that didn't happen today. Mathews very, very decisive with his cutting today.
Well, we've been saying this for weeks that Mathews should be the lead back. He's the best running back on this team, and he proved it today.
Yeah.
And of course, I had Sam in fantasy today, probably like a lot of people, because he hasn't been doing jack shit. Well, today he gets 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. But, you can see today why Mathews is the best back on the team. And really going forward, the Eagles got to utilize Mathews as their main back, and they really just got to mix in Smallwood and Sproles here and there. Really, you saw today, Sproles was really effective in the passing game.
Yeah,
and
that option route.
Yeah, they love that route. So that's how they got to continue to utilize Sproles, is more in the passing game instead of the running game. And I think they've kind of found a little niche here with Smallwood. He's today he ended up with 70 yards, so not bad.
Yeah, that he's a one-cut runner, goes right up the middle, and that's really what the Eagles were doing today, running that ball right up the gut, right down their throats. Offensive line was on their game. Jason Kelsey made some blocks today. How about that? Brandon Brooks, Wiz Wit, onion, sauteed, double order.
Finally, right? It's about time that Kelsey came back from the OD and CI. He was out there, played a hell of a game today, but with Kelsey, we know that he's athletic, so he's good at getting down the field and making those blocks. And like you said, the Eagles really did a good job. Well, really, especially in the first half, the Eagles' first drive is when they did the best. They had a good game plan of going north and south and just really attacking the Falcons that way. Where the Eagles ran into trouble was in the second half, where Peterson, he tried to get too cute. And, this is where it comes down to that play at the goal line when they have 3rd and goal from about the inch line, and they decide to run to the outside with Mathews. Doesn't go anywhere, actually loses yards, and then we have to settle for a field goal. So the play calling in the second half was a lot worse than the first half.
No, I definitely agree. And for whatever reason, Peterson has this fetish of going along the boundary on these 3rd and shorts. I don't get it at all. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. You run the ball up the middle, you sneak it. And I was like, you run it up twice, up the middle, you score a touchdown. But because they ran the ball laterally, they lost yards, and then they kicked the field goal.
Yeah, you figure if you're 3rd and goal there on the inch line, you have Wentz as your quarterback, who could very easily do a quarterback sneak. In fact, I don't think we've seen a quarterback sneak from Wentz this entire year.
No. We've seen the quarterback draw.
Yeah, we've seen the quarterback.
We've seen the read option, the zone read. It doesn't work.
No quarterback sneak. So kind of interesting considering how tall Wentz is, and he has the power to be able to push forward for a few yards. So interesting calls down the goal line. And, like we were saying, in the second half, even at the end of the game with Eagles having Smallwood on the field and not Mathews, or not even a guy, not even Sproles. That's a point in the game where you would really like to see a veteran presence on the field in the backfield. I know Mathews had struggles earlier on this season with the fumbles, but he is a veteran guy, and he's the best back on the team. He had a great game. I think they should have had him in there at the time. And, Eagles got lucky. It almost cost them the game. They had to rely on Schwartz and the defense to save us.
Yeah, Yeah, there was a 3rd and 2 where they called the option route. The option route was kind of working all game, but that 3rd and 2, I was like, just run the ball up the middle because they were shredding that Falcons defensive line. I mean, the blocking was extraordinary all game. It really was, and I'll tell you what. I mean, we gave Jason Kelsey some credit, but goddamn, he's still holding like the best of them out there. 10 penalties for 77 yards. So it didn't wind up biting us in the ass, but still way, way, way too many penalties.
Yeah, well, the part that's sickening is that most of these penalties are coming along our offensive line. I mean, these false starts, the false starts just killed us the entire game. Usually we're getting, a lot of the holding penalties. Today wasn't more of the holding. It was more of the false starts that we had that was the killer. Even, Ertz was getting quite a few too. So, and that's the thing. And that's a problem with these.
Ertz did a belly flop today.
Yeah, it wasn't good either. It was a bad belly flop.
2.3 by the judges.
So, the offensive line, the thing that's, concerning is that these penalties aren't just coming to one guy. It's becoming to all the guys on the offensive line. They're getting these false start penalties or these holding calls. And that sometimes it really hurts the Eagles because Wentz will make an amazing play and then he'll have to come back because of a holding call or something like that. So, the offensive line has to clean up those issues because, we got lucky today that the defense played so well. But usually with not many penalties in the game, you're not going to be able to beat, a good team like the Falcons and their high-power offense.
Yeah, they were just running the ball so damn well today. Speaking of Carson Wentz, how about his dog Henley? Somehow Henley he's smart, dude.
Yeah.
He can tweet.
He's a smart guy, He's got those paws, and he was typing away on his phone now before the game. Right before the game, Henley posted a picture on his Instagram account and said that he was going to be eating some Falcons for dinner tonight. And, well, that's what Henley's going to be doing because, Wentz, his owner, went out there and played a pretty solid game today for the Eagles. I thought that, you still see some rookie mistakes with Wentz, especially when he's trying to extend the play and something is not there. He's got to learn to get rid of the ball at certain moments. So that's something that Wentz will learn as time goes on. But he's still a rookie. But I felt like today he played a pretty solid game. And, the past few weeks, Eagles haven't had a chance to win these games down the stretch. Wentz hasn't been able to get it done. Now, today, it wasn't in, the dire seconds of the game where the Eagles need to go down and have a game-winning drive. But it was, about 6-7 minutes left, and Wentz delivered, went down, and got the Eagles a touchdown. So that was key.
Yeah. I thought he was pretty good today. He was a lot more precise with his accuracy, putting the ball on the proper shoulder. He did fuck up the one time on the Mathews screen, but they got to get that play out of the playbook. That not only does he throw behind Mathews, DGB just completely whiffs on the block. So we talk about Aguilar dropping the ball. Well, at least he's kind of getting open. DGB ain't doing shit again. You guys gonna stop making excuses for him now, right? Right? He sucks.
Well, what about Bryce Treggs? He's our savior. He really showed up today too. Now, these are the games that the Eagles are going to have to get from Mathews a lot more often because he's their best receiver. And really, this is what you expect, games like this from Mathews when he shows up. He really, there's always that one catch that he should have, always the most important catch of the game that he can't get. But besides that, he's usually shorthanded. He was shorthanded today. He made a lot of key catches. So, when he's rolling and they're able to get Ertz involved in the offense too, and when they have Mathews going in the backfield as well, that's when the Eagles offense really starts to roll. And you saw that today on both of the Eagles touchdown drives.
Yeah, no, for real. And Mathews, that second quarter, right at the end of the second quarter, that drop, that was a killer. His drops always come at the most inopportune times. It happens all the time. It's ridiculous. Also can't catch a flag. He literally, it's as clear as a penalty as you're going to get. Are you serious?
Yeah.
He almost died on the field.
He almost died on the field. The NFL says they're trying to, get rid of all these concussions. And they want to throw flags for these helmet-to-helmet hits. Well, they had a chance to make a statement there. Instead, no flag came out. And on the previous play, probably should have been another call on the Falcons for pass interference, but nothing there either. So, it's hard to blame the refs in the game, but those two plays specifically, the refs were definitely at fault. The bad officiating and costly.
Yeah. Biggest reason why the Eagles won this game. Time of possession. Check it out. 38 minutes, 10 seconds for the Birds. 21 minutes, 50 seconds for the Falcons. Their coach, by the way, is not Chip Kelly. It's Dan Quinn. But, dude, so they had a drive in the first half that went 7 minutes and 14 seconds. Their opening drive of the second half was 6 minutes and 43 seconds, I believe, something like that. And they were maintaining possession of the ball and keeping the Falcons' offense off the field. That's why they won.
The Eagles' game plan on defense, that's what it was. Keep the Falcons off the field, and they did a hell of a job of doing that. And even when the Falcons got their touchdown to Gabriel, it was a fast drive because it happened so quickly.
Because Leonis McKelvin got burnt to a crisp. That's what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was, looking around trying to find his jock strap on the field, and Gabriel was in the end zone. So, yeah, but the Eagles' defense, great job of and really getting to Matt Ryan too. They did a nice job of creating a lot of pressure, and really the Eagles they shut down the remainder of the Falcons' threats besides Julio Jones. Julio Jones, we knew coming into the game he was going to be the guy that was going to kill us. He did hurt us, but the Eagles really limited him, and that was the key. You want to limit him to 0 touchdowns. That always helps. But really, they limit him to, I think he was over 100 yards. But, hey, it's better than 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Let's check it right now. Julio Jones, 10 catches, 135 yards. The rest receivers, 8 catches in all. So he did. Yeah, and Gabriel had the 76-yarder. So besides Gabriel and Jones, there was nothing there. Devontae Freeman, 3 catches, 32 yards. Mohamed Sanu, 2 for 14. Austin Hooper, 1 for 8. And I don't know who A. Robinson is. Adrian, I don't know who that is. Adrian Robinson, I think that tight end is dead, actually. So I don't know who A. Robinson is. Who is A. Robinson?
Not quite sure.
Yeah, me neither. Okay. All right. So, you know who well, not that he played well, but Jalen Mills was okay today, maybe? Nolan Carroll was pretty good before his injury, but he always plays the deep ball well. That's what he's known for.
I was a little bit worried when Carroll went out of the game because, like you said, he was playing so well in this game, and it was just it was tough seeing him go out with that concussion. But, the one thing about Jalen Mills that you got to like is that the guy he's extremely confident. We've seen it this season with the finger waving and all that type of stuff. But, he always likes to pull out the Matumbo. But today, I think he backed up his play. He did a nice job. The thing is, for these cornerbacks, especially a guy that's drafted in the 7th round, to come in and be starting already in his rookie season. Yeah. So I think that he's done really a nice job considering the expectations that you got to have for a guy being drafted in the 7th round. It does help that he played at LSU. That's key.
Yeah.
So
cornerback U. Yeah. DBU, actually.
But he was really one of the guys. I think when you look at the secondary today, I think you look at, Nolan Carroll, you look at Malcolm Jenkins, and you look at Jalen Mills. Those guys were the guys that really stepped up and played well.
Jenkins was absolutely unbelievable today. He was getting in the backfield. When he was playing safety, he was getting in the backfield when he was in the box. As a cornerback, he was making tackles on 3rd down. He was awesome today. You know who else was awesome today? Benny Logan came back, and he was amazing. Oh, my God. He made immediate impact right in the first quarter, got into the backfield, and that set up, who made the tackle after that? I don't know if it's Graham or whatever, but he sliced right into the backfield, made mincemeat of the guard. I don't know who was playing guard at the time, but, Logan had a big game today.
Well, that's what the Eagles were missing the last few weeks without Logan. is they weren't able to have that rotation going and keep guys fresh. But now that they got Logan back, they can get back to having that rotation along the defensive line, and it really helped. And I mean, you come to realize that just the combination of Logan and Cox, I mean, it's deadly. It really is. Those guys just cause so many problems.
They pound gaps.
Oh yeah,
they penetrate.
I mean, and sometimes they're getting into the backfield so fast that they're overrunning the play because they're doing such a good job. So sometimes it creates a problem, but it helps out because then, the pocket will collapse like it did today at times, and then other guys will get the sack. So also along the defensive line, Brandon Graham played well again. He creating pressure today and helping other guys get some sacks.
Yeah, and he recorded a sack himself. So he created pressure one for Barwin had a sack. Graham also made some nice run defense plays. And what Logan does is, we saw Cox the last couple games, he didn't record a sack. But what's happening is other teams, their defenses, they're keying in on him on the game plan. And because Logan is back, Logan is such a force that teams have to go one-on-one against Cox because, Logan is going to make mincemeat of your guard.
So that's why it's going to, it'll bring up a key moment in the offseason when the Eagles are going to have to hand out a contract at some point to Benny Logan. And they're going to have to do it because, you can see when you just have Cox and Logan in there together, such a deadly combination, like I said. But the other problem is when you don't have Logan in there, then other teams are able to, give those double teams to Fletcher Cox, and then Fletcher Cox isn't as effective. So when you get those two guys in there together, it's tough for the teams to, double them up.
You know what else happened today? Michael Kendricks made a tackle.
Yeah.
Good job, bro. Good job.
Been waiting all season for it.
Yeah. For real. Oh, man. All right, what else is there to talk about today? Well, we kind of nitpicked Doug already. I mean, it's hard to nitpick him on a win, but dude, in the second half, I'm just like, you gotta sit in your chair and you're all nervous and anxious. Like, oh my God, what's he gonna do to fuck up this game? Like, what's he gonna do? And he almost did. Like, dude, that 3rd and goal, I was irate.
Yeah.
I was really fucking pissed off because this has been his trend, even going back to last year. Every fucking 3rd and short, he goes laterally. And I don't understand. They're pounding the ball up the middle. They're gashing the Falcons on the ground. And, let's go to the outside. Maybe that'll work. Let's pull Kelsey. Yeah. Didn't fucking work, did it?
Well, he tries to get too cute. He tries to outsmart the other team. It doesn't work. And that's when... even last week it was when he was trying to run those, the read options with Wentz on the 3rd and 4, trying to run them to the outside, not going to work. You can't. When it's 3rd and short, you can't go to the outside. You just got to go up the middle. And today it was just working so well. Them just pounding the ball up the middle, and then even towards the end of the game there, when they had Smallwood in. The first play, they were running Smallwood to the outside. He almost ran out of bounds. Now, if he would have ran out of bounds, that would have been even more deadly than it was. He was able to stay in bounds. But, for a second there, it looked like he was going to go out. So, not sure why the play call was designed for him to go to the outside. Got to keep it to the inside, especially in the, final minutes of the game.
Now, it's like I can understand a little bit why Mathews didn't play much in the 4th quarter because of his fumbles. But the way he was going today, how decisive he was with the cutting, how good the offensive line was playing. I mean, he was squeezing through some tight holes today, and he was accelerating, and he looked really good out there. And they took him out of the game. Like that go-ahead touchdown that they scored. I mean, he came into the drive later, but they were using Sproles and they were using Smallwood. And I was just like, oh, my God, Doug, don't fuck this up. That's all I kept thinking was don't screw this up.
Well, it's funny because when this season's over, we're going to go back. We're going to look at the stats. And with Mathews, he's not going to have the yardage because he doesn't carry the ball that much. But the touchdowns are going to be way up there because he always comes in towards the goal line, it seems like. And, well, he usually succeeds and gets us a touchdown. So during the game, like Mathews, guy's got to be pissed off. I mean, he's got over 100 yards in the game, and he's got 2 touchdowns, but he's not in there at the end of the game. I mean, if I'm Mathews, I'm pissed off. I'm yelling at Peterson. I mean, let me in the game, man. Let him finish what he started,
Yeah. I mean, again, I get the fumbles, but the way he was going today, I kind of had the confidence in him. I don't know. Maybe I'm different than you guys in Philly. And I know, like, dude, you guys were giving us heat for saying Mathews was the best back on this team. And, he kind of proved it today. It's like you guys quickly forget. He led the NFL last year in yards per carry. He's 5.1 yards per carry. He was struggling to begin the season, but, right when he was starting to get going a little bit, that's when Darren Sproles became the lead back. Darren Sproles, last week, going up against a stout defensive front like Damon Harrison and God, I'm blanking, Hankins, he was struggling running the ball up the middle. I mean, that's not what he does. And that should have been Mathews' role last week, and they strayed away from it. But they got Mathews going today, and he is the best running back on our team. Let me specify running back, because I know Sproles is a weapon, out in the backfield, doing what he did today with the option routes.
I think that this falls on Peterson, but they really got to do what they did today with Mathews, is get him going early on in the game. Because sometimes I feel like what happens is they'll start the game with Sproles, and then they'll bring Mathews in for a play or two. He doesn't do anything, and he gets stopped. And then all of a sudden, Peterson goes away from it. With Mathews, he's the guy you got to start out the game with him, get him going. He's got to get in the groove. I mean, it's like anyone. I mean, it's anything. You got to get him going and get him started, get that momentum going. So, I mean, if Mathews is only carrying the ball a few times a game, he's not going to have that momentum. So, got to get the momentum going. And today you saw it paid off. I mean, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, they got to continue to ride him.
7 carries for 34 yards on that opening drive. So, he looked pretty good there.
Yeah, he really did look good there. So, the other guy that we had to rely on at the end of the game was a bit nerve-wracking, as we had to rely on a field goal from our man Caleb Sturgis. And, well, yeah, geez. He rubbed us the wrong way earlier in the game when he missed those.
He missed one, and then he tucked one just inside the post. And and then he came up short on the 54-yarder. But, hey, he came up clutch when it mattered. Good old Caleb.
Yeah, somehow. We're still going to hate the guy, but somehow he came through in the clutch, and he made that field goal at the end, extended to lead to, 9 points, and we were able to put the game away. And then, McKelvin, topped it off with an interception. Now, earlier in the game,
finally caught one.
Yeah, he missed 2 picks earlier in the game, so finally got one on the 3rd try. So, I think today really it's a sigh of relief, because if we would have lost this game, it would have been in devastating fashion. And, well, if we would have lost, I think that Doug Peterson might want to go and hide in a cave for a while.
Go chill in Henley's doghouse. Yeah. I mean, I said on the preview show, if we win this game, we're going to make the playoffs because of how the schedule is going to play itself out. Because if we would have lost at Seattle next week, 4-6. So you're probably going to go 9-7. But I'll tell you what, Packers lose again today. They lost again. They're 4-5. Like, they're very vulnerable. We can beat them at home. Monday Night Football, there's no reason why we can't beat them. So I'm already putting a big L for the Eagles next week. But hey, maybe they can beat the Seahawks. Who knows? But probably not. But Green Bay coming at home on Monday Night Football, I mean, that could determine a wild card spot. And all of a sudden, I think we can win that game.
Yeah, well, we'll see about the Packers. I think that they could be headed in the wrong direction here. That was a really bad loss for them. I mean, I know the game was in Tennessee today, but at one point, looked down, they were already down by like 21 points in the first quarter. So, this is not the same Packers team as old. Rodgers is kind of struggling this year. Their defense is very weak. especially their secondary. They got a lot of injuries. So I think that, when we looked at the schedule in the beginning of the year, we looked at that Monday night game against the Packers, and we thought, well, it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be very tough for the Eagles to win, but they could have a shot. I think now when you look at that game, it really starts to favor the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, can you really blame Aaron though? I mean, he's got Olivia Munn as his girl, man. Like, I'd be focused on them titties rather than the game.
Well, yeah, he's
coming home and getting to fuck that every day. What a lucky guy.
He's not struggling off the field.
No, not at all. Not at all. He could care less. He's got his Super Bowl ring now. Now he's got his girl. Jeez. Let's see. What else there to talk about today? I don't really know. Maybe it's final thoughts time. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could get in our daily Aguilar rant.
Oh,
jeez, this guy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about dropping the ball, but he dropped the ball. Fucking asshole.
And then that one, the Eagles have the challenge of play to make sure that he gets his 4 yards. So he gets those yardage, padding his stat sheet, Aguilar there. But, yeah, the guy, it's becoming so frustrating. And, really you saw today with the Eagles receivers, they've got one receiver. It's Jordan Mathews. And that's why they need him to step up every week, because if he doesn't step up, they really got no one. And we kind of saw, today the Bryce Treggs things. That guy, you may get a long pass to him here and there, but he's not going to be a guy that's going to really do anything. So he's not going to come in and save our wide receivers. Our wide receivers are who they are. They're bad. So that's why they really, in the past 2 weeks now, they've started to get Ertz involved in the offense more. So I think that's what they got to continue to do. Throw him the ball, get Mathews going in the backfield, and get Jordan Mathews going out at wide receiver.
Yeah, I'll have to check out the tape and see, because I don't even know if I saw Treggs out there today. But it's like, come on, what do you really expect from a rookie, undrafted wide receiver? I was saying, like, you guys were kind of getting ahead of yourselves on Treggs. I was happy with what he did last week, but if you really think about what he did on that one catch, it was basically a miscommunication between the cornerback and the safety, and he ran deep and he's fast. So if you miscommunicate, he's so fast, he's going to beat you downfield. And he caught the ball. Unlike Aguilar.
Yeah, something that most of our receivers don't do. So, yeah, it was, great win today.
Yeah, it really was. And, the Falcons kind of did what I thought they would do, little quick step drops throughout most of the game. And Julio Jones did what he did, but we did enough. We kept them off the field. I don't know how many possessions this game was, but it seemed like it was like an 8-possession game. They limited the possessions, kept churning the clock, ran the ball really well, kept their offense off the field, and we won the game, so it was perfect.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting because Malcolm Jenkins made some comments after the Giants game, and he was pretty much saying that this Eagles team, especially in offense, they're going to be boring. They're not going to score a lot of points, but they're going to get the job done sometimes, And really, what he meant is we can expect the Eagles' offense that we saw today. That's what you can expect out of them. Now, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't that exciting, but they won the game. So, got to give Jenkins credit. He knows what he's talking about. And that sometimes he just, when he's on, it really helps his team out. Today he's just such a leader for this team. And you saw it today. Even in the final moments of the game today, they put him on Julio Jones because they can trust Jenkins to come up and make a play, and he did. So.
Yeah, no, he really did. And Jones pulled his best Eagles impression, too. He dropped the ball, 3rd and 12. Yeah, thanks, Julio. Thanks a lot, pal, helping us out. But, yeah, you make the point on the boring offense. Well, this is exactly what the Chiefs were doing this during their 9-game winning streak to close the season last year, or 10-game winning, whatever it was. They were boring. They were methodical. They ran the ball. They were taking like 7, 8, 9 minutes off the clock, and that's what you want. That's what you want. You can be conservative if you're running the ball effectively. That's fine. But if you're not running the ball well, sure, you got to take some more shots downfield.
Yeah, exactly. So it's it's kind of ironic because, the offense today was pretty much the exact opposite of the Chip Kelly offense from last season.
Yeah,
this
literally.
was
The time of possession, 38-10, 21-50.
Yeah, so you would have never seen that with Chip Kelly, but in a game like today, that's the way the Eagles needed to win. And like you mentioned last year with Peterson and the Chiefs, that's how they won.
Yeah.
He had that methodical offense, and then how they backed it up is with the great defense, and that's how the Eagles won today.
Mm-hmm.
Slow, methodical offense, pound the ball, defense wins the game.
Yeah. Do we want to do one more final thought? And then we'll get out?
Yeah, I mean, big win. I mean, now we have to head to Seattle, and then Green Bay. Then we still got the Bengals on the schedule. Got the Ravens there, but now all of a sudden, these games against the Packers, the Bengals, the Ravens, they were games in the beginning of the year where you were worried about them. But now they're starting to look like games where the Eagles can possibly win.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the Eagles' schedule that was going to be brutal down the stretch isn't that brutal. And the thing that is key is that the Eagles are going to have the remaining 3 games in the NFC East at the Link.
Yeah.
Where they're undefeated.
Yeah.
That's something that we forgot to bring up until right now. Undefeated at the Link. We're getting home field advantage back.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense just looks like a completely different defense when they're at home. They really do. And, I'm going to make this bold prediction right now. They're going to win their last 4 games. At Baltimore and then all your 3 NFC East opponents at home. They can win their home games. It's going to happen. So I think they'll lose to Seattle. I think they'll lose to Cincinnati. But they'll beat Green Bay at home. And they might get that last wild card spot over Green Bay because of that win on Monday night. So that's what I'm hoping for. And look at us, fucking Jersey buddies today. Look at us, Jersey buddies. Yeah. The Carsonist. Well, he became the arsonist today. He was on fire! Oh, fuck. Cowboys just scored. Fuck that. Was it Zeke at least? He's on my fantasy team. Well, fuck him anyway. All right, we're out. Mike Owens. I'm Adrian Petcu. By the way, get yourself a pump kick. Pretty good beer. Later.